don't like the lighting. Oh, I'm funny. All right, there we go. Hello, my friends. We're getting started. Okay, there we go. I think, let's see, how do I do it? Zato, you request? I think you have to request. Okay, good. Yay. Approve. Ah, yay. All right, my friends. Holy cow. Hello, hello. Oh, wait. Okay, it's adding. I was like, wait, I'm missing something. So I have a special guest for you tonight. I'm very excited. Hello, sweet Megan. Hello, Donna. There she is. Hello. Hello, everybody. My special guest. Say
I
hi,
can't
Za.
actually. Hello. I can't see anyone's comments or anything. Can you?
Yes, so
Oh,
I
good.
will navigate the comments. You just worry about looking pretty and being awesome. Hello, Susan from Wisconsin. Donna says, hello, Za.
Hello.
Awesome. Hello, all you amazing beings. Welcome. I'm really excited about this conversation that
I'm
Za
just
and I
gonna
are going
do
to
some.
have.
I'm just gonna do some housekeeping while you're talking, like sharing it and stuff.
Good. So awesome. Two lives in an hour. How does it get any better than that? I wonder, Beverly. So I have been going nonstop and we are going to, yay, Alejandra, what a contribution. Awesome. Hello, Melanie. Welcome, friends from all over the world. It's hot in here, so I think it's because I've been facilitating all day. So I'm a little hot. Uh, so Zad and I are going to talk about the art of choice and the art of choosing in every 10 seconds. We are actually putting on a class in a week next week, and it's called The Art of the 10-Second Question. And so we want to have a conversation with you about what it means for you to start choosing and being the question every 10 seconds. I don't know how to say your name, but hello. I'll call you, I think it's Kokilgada. Welcome. So, welcome everybody. And so, a lot of the conversation that we're going to be having, we got a lot of this information from Access Consciousness and the tools from Mr. Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane here. And this idea of choosing is not something that we're taught in this reality to do. We're actually taught to have answers. And if we have the right answers, then the right answer is going to get us where we need to go. And my brilliant friend Za has been really, truly, she, in a lot of ways, is a question. And sometimes we'll have these conversations and she's like, I don't get it. I don't get why people aren't asking questions. And I'm like, Za, they don't know that they can ask a question because we're taught that we need to solve our problem before we can ask a question. We need to know the answer before we ask a question. But consciousness, my friends, isn't about knowing the answer. Consciousness is being willing to ask and be the question. So, Za,
Yes.
what, what, what does being a 10-second question mean to you?
Wow. It for me, it is like being the speed of space for creation. Because choice is only good for 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds, if you were to ask a question, choice creates awareness. So imagine having an awareness about everything that you require, desire, need, and want every 10 seconds, asking a question and just putting it out there and just having the universe and this reality work for you. That.
Okay, so I love the energy, but you say that, and my brain goes, I feel like I would be either ADD or on drugs all the time, because then how am I supposed to know what choices are going to create a greater future? I would think that I'd be the most unreliable person on the planet, right?
Yeah.
So, can we talk about that?
Yeah. So the thing with questions is you're not trying to find an answer. Like this reality is very much ask a question to get an answer. And usually it's the right or wrong answer. We're usually targeting the right answer. Whereas the questions in Access are about gaining more awareness, you know. So you may ask a question now in this 10 seconds, and you may not get the awareness for a week.
Or a year.
Or a year. However, the thing is that you've actually asked a question to start the creation going.
Wait,
So,
what? Wait, say
yeah,
that again.
you've actually asked a question to start the creation going.
Okay. So do you guys get that asking a question starts the creation? So if you want more money, guess what? Ask a question. Not, oh my God, I don't have enough money. If you want more money, ask a question. If you want to change your body, ask a question. Not, oh my God, I need to solve my body. That is not a question. So I love what Zah said, and I'm going to say it again. A question creates and gets the creation going.
You may not know.
What?
Yeah, you may. Well, again, this reality, it's like they want us to know exactly every single step of the way, exactly what color it's going to look like, exactly how many dimensions it's going to have. And for humanoids like us, that doesn't work. It's actually a massive limitation. You know, so by asking a question, it opens up, more choice. And choice is only good for 10 seconds. And then choice opens up possibilities.
So I'm going to expand on this because I love this energy of like choice is only good for 10 seconds. So how many of you, I'm going to maybe make myself lighter, just, oop, nope, I don't want that. Sorry. Hold on. Uh-oh. Okay. So how many of you go to look at what you want? You want more money, or you want more ease with your body, or you want a relationship that would be kind and caring and create greater for you and everyone around you. And so how many of you look to solidify what that's going to look like in the future? Well, this is the energy we're talking about of choice is only good for 10 seconds. We try to put a picture of what we want as the future, and then we think that that future is only going to require one choice. Okay, so actually that future requires millions of choices.
Yes.
So when choice is only good for 10 seconds, you're not looking to solidify the future 10 years in the future. So if you know you're going to be famous, if you know you're going to be a New York Times bestselling author, if you know you're going to travel the world and connect to people on stages all over the planet, if you know that someday you're going to own a lot of cars or a private plane, or like if you know in your knowing, I'm going to have that as my reality. Most of us are looking for the one choice that's going to get us to that energy, right? Conchetta says, love your passion, adore you, my friend. So we tend to think that, oh, if this is where I want to go, then, oh, it's only going to take one choice. But the truth is it takes millions of choices. And that's when Zah says, choice is only good for 10 seconds. Choose, notice what that choice creates, and choose again. So, Zah, I'm wondering if you have some questions that you've used in your universe to play with this concept of choice is only good for 10 seconds.
Yes.
I know that's a big ask, and I'm totally putting you on the spot.
Well, it's, everything we're talking about here, and it's funny because I was just reading the foundation manual, which includes creation, the 4 elements of creation, which are question, choice, possibility, contribution. And I was looking at that, and everything that we be and do really resonates around energy. So it's for me, when I look at asking a question, I look at the energy of what it is I'm after, and then I look at what words will contribute for that question, for that energy to have more awareness and to gain more awareness. So it's not really about, there are certain words that you can put into place when you ask a question, you know, and it's the energy that you come from when you ask the question. Like, you know, when you facilitate someone saying something and you just get an energy and you, like, the words kind of drop into place that really nails the spot. And that's what, for me, going with the energy is, I don't look for the word for the question, I look for the energy for the question that I'm after. And sometimes it's a very odd word that comes up and I'll go, right, let's just go with that then. Questions I use are, well, first of all, I actually use questions as soon as I wake up. Like, I've got a whole list of about 15 or 20 questions I'll just ask in the morning just for the hell of it. And just to kind of set my day energetically on its path. And they're the ones like, you know, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And what engagement of the elementals can my body and I perceive, know, be, and receive for the catalytic conversion of the greatest possibilities with total ease. And like when I first started asking those questions, I'm like, oh yeah, whatever, you know. And the more I've been asking them every morning, the more my day flows the way in which is just a massive contribution to me and everyone else around me. So now, like, sometimes I'll also ask that elemental question whenever I get a sense that I require something else, like for a creation or for money. And I'll just kind of input. That's a big question, Catherine.
I
I'm not sure where you go with it.
Well, and it's cool because when you're talking about what I'm looking at is like, wow, how many times do we ask a question programming ourselves that we want to ask the right question that creates the conclusion or that creates the result? So let's say I want to create $10,000 in a month. I'm already looking for a limited question because I've decided that $10,000 a month is the greatest amount I can have per month. Right? So do you guys get this? So if you're only making $2,000 a month and you're like, oh my God, $10,000 a month would be amazing. Well, you're asking a question for the greatest limitation you've decided you can have, which this is what, for me, when I realized this, that's not actually a question. A true question is something where you don't actually know the answer. So if anybody's watching and you're live and you like the conversation, please share it. But if you have a question about something that you're looking at manifesting, actualizing, creating, and you're like, I'm stuck with this thing, please feel free to type in the chat and we'll see if we can answer it or give you tools or questions that you can use to outcreate it.
So what you said about the $10,000, Catherine, like I looked at that and I'm like, okay, cool. So that's like, the thing with that is that like you've had an awareness that you'd like to have more money. Basically, that's what that was that you like asked about. And so I know like this tip that I found with Access is like, you know, have a look at how much money right now you're willing to actually receive. You know, is it 5,000? Is it 10,000? Is it 20? Is it 50? Whatever amount, and you know, whichever one is light. And then just acknowledge that wow, I'm willing to receive that amount of money. And like even asking a question like, oh my God, I wonder what the hell else is possible now, will actually contribute to whatever awareness you had about the money, about the amount of money you're willing to receive show up.
Cool.
That's as simple as it can be.
So Alejandra, she's asking what I'd like to, she just says, actualize my CF. So for those of you that don't know, CF is certified facilitator. So Alejandra is asking, okay, so like what do I do if I want to actualize my CF? So what would you say?
So I would start to look at, okay, so what is it in the first place? Like what energies are you aware of in regards to becoming and actualizing a CF? Like ask yourself, Alejandra, those questions. What energies are you aware of? And even if sometimes it comes up with words, oh, I want to be a contribution, I want to create greater consciousness, get all of that, you know, that you're aware of in front of you and acknowledge that that's what you're aware of. And then you can ask, you know, what energy, space, and consciousness can my body and I perceive, know, be, and receive to actualize being a CF with total ease?
So I'm going to say it in a different way. So sometimes if you hear it twice from two different points of views, it can. So Alejandra, if you're looking to actualize your CF, I would ask, okay, what have you decided becoming a certified facilitator will give you? So if you decide freedom, what if you started asking for more freedom? Okay. And then you ask, okay, what else have you decided becoming a certified facilitator will give you? And if you say travel, you go, okay, what would it take to create more travel? And if you go, oh, what else have I decided that becoming a CF is going to give me? And you go, money, okay, what would it take to have more money? So a lot of us will ask questions because we've incrementally decided that what we're choosing is going to create what we actually want. When what we actually want is freedom, money, ease, sex, joy, happiness, money, right? Does that make sense? So instead of asking for the thing that you think will give you what you want, start asking for what you want. And hey, becoming a CF might be a part of that. So Alejandra says, oof. And she also says, wow. Fee says, what would it take to create more money? Well, Fee, would you be willing to ask that every day and then let go of everywhere you're judging that you can't create more money? So Alejandra says, you're awesome. Thank you. Alanka is asking, and I'll let you take this one. Alanka is asking, what would it take to have more ease with your kids? Since I don't have a kid, or since I have a kid and Zah doesn't, I want to see what she says. What would it take to have, she's asking, what would it take to have more ease with your kids / teenagers?
Cool. So, Elonka, I would ask, what energy, space, and consciousness can my body and I be to be 50-50 with my kids with total ease? There was an energy that I got from your question, like, I'll say this, and please don't take this personally, like a fight energy. Like parents and kids are always fighting, like to be the parent and to be the kid, or to be the kid and to be the parent. It goes either way. So if you're willing to be 50-50 with your kid, and I don't mean like give them half of your house or, you know, get them to drive your car. It's just an energetic 50-50. There's a contribution and a gifting and receiving that goes on between beings. Again, it's energetic, and these things sometimes don't make sense. That if you start looking at that, then it's like, wow, I wonder how much more ease you would have with your kids and they would have with you without having to try to do anything or to do parenting, rather just being.
That's awesome. So she says, awesome. And then she says, you are genius. So,
and by the way, just a quick like little plug, Katherine and I are actually going to be doing a parenting call from the perspective of, you know, Katherine parents very, very differently, and from the perspective that I don't have any kids. So if anyone's interested, that is on the cards.
So, and it's interesting because Zah has been in Duke and I's life for 2 years, and she watches the way I parent. She's been in my house for a month. She's seen Duke and I sort of create really differently. And she's also really different with Duke. And she's also around a lot of parents, and she has this different perspective. So we came up with the idea, wow, what would it take if we did a parenting call from two totally different perspectives to give you guys cool tools? Because, you know, Ilanka, when you asked that question, there is no way I would have given you that question back. But Zah doesn't have a point of view about parenting because she's not a parent. So it's not in her face. So she says, Ilanka says, fuck yeah. And then Fee says, ask the question and make the demand. Amen. This is what, you know, the art of the 10-second question isn't to get the question right. It's to get you to be the demand to choose for you no matter what.
Yeah.
So,
and
Zah and I want,
it's also to get you into the capacity that you already have to question, you know, to get you into a rolling motion of questioning everything, everyone, all the time, which I know at the beginning of the Facebook Live you said, Katherine, that it could be like overwhelming and manic. However, you know, how much of that stuff is actually yours? And how much of that is actually everyone else's? And how much fun can you be when you're actually asking the questions every 10 seconds and the awarenesses, and you just know it's like the energy of chaos, which is how we create, the best way in which we create, actually.
Totally. So we'll take one more question. We just wanted to come on and do a short little hello. What if you could start playing with question in a way and playing with choice in a way that gives you and gifts you more of you? So Suno is asking, she says, for me, I wonder what it would take to have more ease with letting me show who I am without fears of judgment.
So true. Suno, what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be to be the space of no judgment with you with total ease?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's really interesting what Za's asking is, you know, so often whatever we try to protect ourselves against is what we're not willing to be for ourselves. So if you're afraid of receiving judgment, are you judging you? Right? If you're afraid of not making enough money, are you judging that you'll never make enough money? Like what we fear, we actually end up creating. And you know, the art of the 10-second question is to get you to be questioned all the time so you can continue to create from no point of view. And, you know, I'll say this and then I'll let you sort of give your 2 cents. But, you know, Gary, the founder of Access, he says that the best way to create anything, so creating a business, creating classes, creating money, is to be no point of view.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when it comes to creation, if you're like, I'll say, like with the questions that people have been asking, I'm going to give this back to you guys, because there's actually an awareness in your questions that you're asking. And if you were to look at it and perhaps ask another or a different question, you'll actually gain more clarity on that, if that makes sense to anyone.
It makes, and my favorite question to ask is, what question can I ask to create more clarity?
Yeah. Yeah.
What question can I ask to create more money?
Yes.
What question can I ask to change my body with ease?
Yep. Like, what tool can I use right now to change this? Because everyone, like, you know, if you've been doing Access, if you've been to a class or you've just started, there is more than one tool available. And, you know, whatever tool it works for me may not work for Katherine, like in that scenario. So there's like a whole plethora of stuff, and questions are one of the greatest tools that we have, you know, which leads us on to like another greatest tool, which is choice, you know. And choice will actually, it creates so much. And choice and the bars are the 2 things that will change your life. So if you want more choice, ask more questions. That's my 2 cents for it.
Awesome. Oh, well, we're so grateful that you guys took time out of your day, out of your evening, wherever you are in the world. I know we have people from all over the world that join, and we're just so grateful. So if you're just joining us, please catch the replay about what it would take for you to start to live in the art of every 10 seconds as a question to create your future. So Alanka says, all right, I got to listen to this a few times. Inga's clapping. Suno says, gratitude with a heart. Susan says, thank you. So if you guys liked what you heard, we will post after this video goes live a link if you would like to join us for a 3-part Zoom telecall video conference where you can get on. We can get to see your face if you'd like to show your face. If you're not comfortable with that, you can always be not on video. And you can ask Za and I any question. And we're going to have 3 conversations about choice. Oh, I love it. Beverly says it's 3 a.m. here. Thank you, lovely ladies. You're amazing, Beverly. You know, you Europeans are just, I love you. I love how mad and amazing and crazy you are. That's the energy that creates consciousness. So if you want to join us for a 3-part conversation, we will see you next week. We'll post the link after this goes on live, on replay. And just thanks for joining us. We're so grateful.
Thank you so much. And thank you all for your questions as well.
See you on the flip side. Bye.